Alright, welcome back. So, today I'm probably going to work on the body, but I'm still stuck in figuring out how to make this thing pivot with this. This entirely made out of duct tape build. That's the challenging part. And I'm just grabbing a bunch more T-strip rods and turning them yellow. Alright, got all these done, and now to start turning them into something cool. Just taping a few pieces here on this thing. This just be a basic frame. No support on these, so I'm not going to go heavy on the tape down. Yep, notice this piece doesn't have anything, so I'm just going to tack in a cross support. Now it's this section I'm a bit hazy on. There's not that many pictures of this area online, so I don't know exactly what it looks like, but I'll just make it up as I go. Now I've got the frame loosely mapped out. Now, for the fun part, we're going to start adding the slope, the curves around the build here. So I'm just greasing it along the edges here, along the seam. This pre-bending it helps it make a nice smooth curve. And since this will act like a spring, we definitely want a few extra pieces on the outside here to help resist that springy force. Alright, now that we got that in, I'll just bend this piece over the top. Alright, turns out I forgot my back piece right here. So let's scab in another one then. Alright, rather than trying to cut this piece to the right length and trying to match the curve, I'm just going to cut it right in the middle. Right there. So that way we could have a joint to splice them together on. Okay, well I got one done. Now only a few more to go. It's at this part in the build that the weight usually gets a little away from me. So I start adding all these extra layers because I'm going to add this layer, then I'm going to add spans to the top, then I'm going to add a sheet of duct tape on top. So essentially it's going to gain another 30% of weight just in the final details. Alright, got the top three pieces. Now we're going to change directions and go this way. And then the corner will be kind of tricky, I think, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, got all those pieces cut. Now to continue working. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a nice 45-degree angle on both sides to help slot that in there. Give myself a little bit more room than I think I need. It's easier to trim down once you have it than try to add pieces. Just take this piece down. I'm going to try to snake a piece across the top and then back to the post behind it. That'll really hold it down well. Continue bracing in between these joints now, because we want it just under 3 inches or no more than 3 inches gap between each piece, so that way the sheet doesn't bow too much. Oh. Alright, welcome back to another part of this Caterpillar 320 excavator build. So here I'm building it completely out of duct tape. where we're at so far. Still got to figure out the pivoting mechanism. So let me figure that out as we go. So this roll of black duct tape came in the same packaging as this yellow duct tape. They're Kraft, small 20-yard rolls of duct tape. This is their 45-yard thing. Let's see if they're the same thing. Alright, the outside skin looks like the same pattern. It actually looks like the 20-yard one might have a little bit more adhesive. I don't know, they almost feel the same. Definitely not very strong. And as you can see here, right here we got some pieces that just simply aren't sticking to themselves. I'm just generally disappointed with anybody's general purpose tape, and it's even more annoying when they add it as their Kraft specialty grade and charge more for the same junk. Let's try a different approach. So scrape all that. Alright, so you know how we normally make rods? So we're going to still make rods, but we're just going to leave them sticky side out. Just like that. A little imperfect. And what we're going to do, take the sticky rod, and we're just going to thicken up this thing. Just going to squish it all the way around this. Perfect, just like that. Now I'm going to do that a bunch of times. Alright, done making sticky rods. Now let's continue adding these. Alright, now that's feeling solid. But I kind of want to add a few more layers, so I'm just going to continue doing that. Ooh, that's a workout on my hands. Let's see about making this ring a bit more excessive. And now, the turret always seems to be black, so I'm just going to cut a whole bunch of strips at probably 4 inches or so. And then we're going to wrap this with a final layer. I'm just going to take these, push down and wrap around. And it's still got a little droop going on in the back, but I think that's largely due to it being made out of rubber and glue instead of something more rigid. Alright, I'm almost finished doing 2 layers. Just when I roll it over, I'm also splitting the duct tape in half, make it easier to go around the rounded edges. Alright. How to make duct tape swivel while keeping everything rigid. Guess my biggest debate now is which parts to attach where. Alright, I think I'm just going to attach this part to the frame. Okay, I've got my pieces cut. Make sure this is centered enough. And I'll start taping it down. I cut a bunch of strips at 3 inches. Alright, got that done. Now before I go on too much further, I think I need to skin this top part and the sides. Alright, made my basic sheet. For a comprehensive guide on these, you can just check out the video down in the link below. But I'm just going to make this one 4 layers thick of gray and 1 layer of black. Alright, now I've got my 5-layer sheet, so I'm just going to trim the edges and then trim it to fit this spot right here. Alright, kind of got roughly the shape dotted out on the back. So let's try cutting it out. Oh, it's just a hair small. Just need to take another smidge off this side. Now that I know this, I could just take my Sharpie and outline the bottom cut. Now that I got my sheet all on here, perfectly cut out, I'm just going to add some strips around the side here to tack it down. Got good clearance. Starting to come together, I'd say. Well, I'm out of time for today. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button if you like what I'm doing. And we'll catch you on the next one.